Okay, so I've got the 100 grain Barnes Triple Shock X. I've already tested it today. I've been fighting the wind. The wind finally calmed down right before the sun went down, so I went ahead and did the grouping and everything. I have not recovered the 400-yard bullet, but here's our intro. Today we're going to be testing the 100 grain Barnes Tip Triple Shock X bullet out of the 6.5 Grendel. I'm using ram shot tack powder. We're going to get a velocity reading, and then we're going to go ahead and do a 100-yard 3-shot group, and then we'll do a 100-yard expansion test and a 400-yard expansion test, and we'll see how these bullets do. Stay tuned. Okay, now we're going to get a velocity reading on these 100 grain Barnes Tip Triple Shock X bullets. .2805. All right, we're fighting daylight here. I'm going to go back to 100 yards. We're going to do a 3-shot group. I'm using ram shot tack powder, 30.5 grains. We'll see how these 100 grain Barnes Triple Shock X bullets group. So there's our 100-yard group, and it measured 0.81 inches. Okay, so I have 6 water jugs lined up. We saw that these bullets are going pretty fast. We're going to go back to 100 yards and see how these 100 grain Barnes bullets do. I don't know if you guys can see that. I see the bullet right there. Tried going out the 4th jug, touched the 5th, but yeah, blew up the first 2, did really well. I'll pull this bullet out and we'll see how it did. All right, so I'm gonna go back to 400 yards and we'll see if these 100 grain Barnes Tip Triple Shock X bullets expand. Okay, so it is dark now. I finally recovered the 400-yard bullet, which is right there. And as you can see, we've got our 100 grain Barnes Tip Triple Shock X bullet out of the Grendel. We saw the muzzle velocity was 2,800 feet a second, which is pretty good for a 100 grain bullet out of this cartridge. And we can see that at 100 yards, we just have textbook Barnes performance. I have not tested Barnes bullets in a while, but it's easy for me anyway, to forget how perfect these things expand. But excellent expansion, and actually very good penetration with these 100 grain Barnes X bullets. At 400 yards, we can see that we definitely did not get the expansion we had at 100, but that's to be expected. And I was actually kind of surprised we actually did get decent expansion for 400 yards out of the 6.5 Grendel. If you've seen any of my Battle of the Heavyweight or Battle of the Middleweight videos, we know that not all bullets expand at those distances, and these 100 grain Barnes did fairly well. Overall, what are my thoughts on the 100 grain Barnes Tip Triple Shock X bullets? I like them. I think it's a excellent choice for just an all-around 6.5 Grendel hunting bullet. I don't know if I like them better than the 127 LRX or not. I think it depends on the application. I have not tested the 127 LRX at 400 yards, so I don't know how it would do at that distance. The advantages to this is I'm getting roughly another 250, 300 feet a second over the 127s. Not quite the penetration. So I would say this: the 6.5 Grendel is a marginal cartridge for medium to larger game. I'm talking very large deer or into the elk range. I have seen 2 elk shot and successfully harvested with a 6.5 Grendel. Both of them died. I used the 127 grain Barnes LRX on one and the 130 grain Federal Terminal Ascent on the other. If you choose to shoot something around elk size with a 6.5 Grendel, I would say stick with the heavier bullet. I would go with the 127 grain LRX all day, but if you're never going to be hunting elk with a 6.5 Grendel, which most of us aren't, let's face it, these 100 grain Barnes tip triple shock X bullets may be one of the best overall bullets you could use. I'm still going to be partial to the 120 grain Spear Gold Dots. I think those are excellent as well, but I don't think you can go wrong with these bullets. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of this bullet in the comments. If you guys have used them, let me know how they performed. I was very happy with these. And guys, we're almost to 2,000 subscribers. I appreciate every one of you watching my videos, every one of you that comment. It helps me out a bunch. Not all of your comments are positive, and that's okay too. I appreciate you guys watching as well. We're getting close to 2,000 subscribers. If we can get there, I'll consider doing some sort of giveaway. Guys, I've got lots of bullets and lots of brass laying around from doing all these tests, and I'd be happy to maybe do some kind of giveaway where I send you some bullets or brass, just kind of as a thank you. It's not much, but I do really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time.